Now, for the cost, there are typically three types of cost that we might want to take into account. The first one would be the initial investment. For a cold wallet, you might want to spend at least $50. That includes shipment fees. However, please make sure to buy them directly from the official store, not from Amazon, not from a local generic store, not from your neighbor. Please do it from the original store. However, for the hot wallets, you only need a browser and download the extension, or even the app in the application store. So it is basically free. Now, there are also transaction fees, and you might think that they might differ, but since the networks and blockchain operate over a lot of transactions, the fees that we pay are linked to how many transactions and validators there are at a particular moment. So the transaction does not really depend on whether or not you are using a hot wallet. It would be basically doing the same transaction. Security investment. If you were to leave your crypto at an exchange or got your hot wallet hacked, then you would be better off spending those $50 you would pay to a companion girl to buy a security measure. So please reconsider if you're willing to risk your investments. Interaction with decentralized apps and the transactions they carry. In the crypto, there's a set of commands, string, blockchain data, etc. that must be retrieved by the hot wallet from the internet, from the blockchain to start a transaction. This cannot be done without internet, since that is how devices worldwide connect and form a network. So, hot wallets are readily available to interact with apps since the wallet already has internet connections and can acquire the data from the DApps. So it is not that hard. You only provide access to your wallet to the website and voila, you can interact with it. With cold wallets, the story is a little bit different. They have no access to the internet, so they cannot access transaction details to sign them. You need someone or something to send the data to the device. In this case, there's something that we call abstraction, which is a repeatable piece of code that solves a particular problem. In this case, connecting a hardware wallet to a DApp. For DApps, we can use some open source like Wallet Connect or another software solutions like MetaMask. MetaMask will interact as if it were a normal hot wallet, generating the transaction details and paying gas fees. The difference would lie in that it doesn't sign the transaction, but it relies the signing to the hardware wallet. Also, there are some wallets that allow you to interact with the apps via the wallet's app. However, you would have to check on the specific platform to see if that feature is available for the particular wallet you're intending to buy. Backup and recovery. It is simple, man. It all boils down to keeping a backup of the seed phrase. In both cases, either a hardware wallet or a cold wallet, you would be able to get back your keys by getting your seed phrase inputted into those devices. So there's not that much of a deal. MetaMask tells us that if you forget your MetaMask password, you are effed up, bro. Nah, just kidding. You only need to know your seed phrase and can reinstall the extension. Then, in installation, you click to recover a wallet and you can introduce the words one by one. However, if you lose the password as well as your seed phrase, you could say goodbye to your crypto, bro. Now, we will speak about a hardware wallet, which in this case it is SafePal. What if your SafePal device gets broken? Well, sometimes you might be able to replace certain parts, but likely it would be cheaper and safer to just get another device. Then, you would import your seed phrase again, and it would be as if nothing happened. Even better, you might get a safer device while doing so. Some wallets might even erase its data when it's been tampered, so if you accidentally broke it, it is likely that everything got erased. However, since not all wallets have this feature, you might be risking a lot if you leave your device like that, especially if it does not have a security element, in which case hackers might be able to get their hands on the device and apply certain techniques even when it appears dead. They could use electricity, lasers, or other recovery methods to get some of that data. So if that were to happen to me, meaning that my device got broken on me, I would make sure to completely destroy that device. Perhaps you could use boiling water to boil it even further. Obviously, take out the battery, alright? You do not want to boil a battery. Also, I would try to burn it after I've boiled it, and I would even try to hammer it until it turns to dust. In that way, the hackers would not be able to get any data out of it. please mind that you can get different brands and still use the same phrases. Also, you might use seed phrases in a hot wallet, but please take into account that only when it is urgent. Though once you get your hardware wallet, it would be better to set it up as new and transfer your funds there if you ever use your previous seed phrase with a hot wallet. Supported chains and coins. This will depend on the specific brand of wallet you're using, but it is likely that hardware wallets support more chains, while software wallets often support more coins, which you do not want to hold in a hardware wallet either way. For example, to hold Osmosis and Ethereum, or coins from different multiple chains, I would need to use MetaMask, Kepler, and perhaps other wallets. But I could accomplish the same thing using a Tangent wallet. And if I desire to hold some obscure meme coins, just like Trump, I would need to use a software wallet and add token data for it to be recognized. Nah, just kidding, bros. Trump coin is not a scam. Cheers, Trump.